Australians woke up this week to something they were never supposed to see. An independent senator, David Pocock, went live and dropped a revelation so raw, so damning, that it sent shockwaves through Parliament House. He wasn't just pointing a finger at a policy failure. He was exposing an entire hidden system that threatens the very idea of democracy in this country. And at the centre of the storm, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and the major parties who've kept this machine running in the shadows. Now, here's the part that no politician wanted you to hear. While you've been told the system is transparent, open and accountable, Pocock claims it's actually rigged, designed to serve a few insiders while the rest of the country is left out. But how deep does this go? And why are insiders whispering that this could be the scandal that finally pushes Albanese out? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will make you question everything you thought you knew about Parliament. Quick question before we dive in. Do you believe politicians are working for the public or for corporations? Drop your answer in the comments, because I want to see how many of you already suspect what Pocock just confirmed. Let's start with something simple, but shocking. Right now, more than 2,000 people, lobbyists, ex-politicians, corporate fixers, hold special orange passes that give them access to Parliament House. These passes aren't just ID cards. They're golden keys that allow them to bypass security, stroll into offices, and meet decision-makers without the public ever knowing. Think about that. Ordinary Australians couldn't even get past reception without a pat-down and a name badge. But these insiders, they walk right in, completely unseen, and it gets worse. Pocock revealed that many of these pass holders are former ministers and political staffers, the very people voters kicked out. Instead of leaving politics behind, they sneak back in through this side door, cashing in on old contacts and backroom influence. Let me ask you this. Should ex-politicians be allowed this kind of access, or should the door be slammed shut the moment they leave office? Tell me in the comments. Because if this system feels rigged to you, it's because it is. Here's the kicker. We already have laws on lobbying, but according to Pocock, they're basically useless. The current lobbying code of conduct only covers a small fraction of the people actually doing the lobbying. By some estimates, 80% of lobbyists aren't even caught under the rules. That means the majority of influence peddlers don't have to register, don't have to report their meetings, and don't have to tell you who they're working for. And what happens if they break the rules? A light slap on the wrist, no serious penalties, no accountability. So the system looks like it's there, but in reality, it's a shell. A broken code written by the same political class that benefits from keeping it weak. If you think these rules were designed to protect politicians, not you, hit the like button so more Australians see this video. Faced with this wall of secrecy, David Pocock decided to flip the script. Instead of waiting for the government to act, he built his own system. A voluntary register of lobbying meetings. Every person or group he meets with is listed publicly for Australians to see. No spin, no cover-ups. Why does this matter? Because Pocock isn't just calling out the problem, he's modelling the solution. If one independent senator can do this, imagine if the entire Parliament was forced to follow suit. Suddenly, you'd know exactly who your representatives are talking to, and that's why this is so dangerous for the establishment. If Pocock's example catches on, it could expose the major parties' deep ties to industries like gambling, fossil fuels, and property development. And here's where I want your input. If every politician had to publish a diary of meetings, who do you think would show up the most? Corporate CEOs? Union bosses? Foreign lobbyists? Drop your guess below. I'm curious what you think. Now, here's the question. If transparency is such an obvious fix, why won't the Albanese government just adopt it? Pocock claims it's simple, because every major party is playing the same game. The coalition used these rules when they were in power. Labour uses them now. And neither side wants to shine a light on the deals that keep their campaign coffers full and their influence intact. Confidential leaks suggest that more than half the people walking those corridors with lobbyist passes have direct links to industries donating millions to the major parties. So when Pocock went public, he wasn't just embarrassing a minister, he was cutting to the core of a system that keeps Albanese and his opponents on equal footing. And that's why insiders are saying this could be politically explosive. If ordinary Australians start demanding the same disclosure Pocock offers, the entire structure could collapse. Here's where the scandal stops being abstract and starts hitting your wallet. Industry whistleblowers estimate that corporations spend tens of millions of dollars every year on lobbying in Canberra. That money goes into private dinners, networking events, sponsored passes, buying influence in ways ordinary Australians could never dream of. Meanwhile, what's happening outside Parliament? Families are drowning in mortgages. Hospital waiting lists are growing. Wages are stagnant. The system tells you to tighten your belt while lobbyists sip champagne in Parliament's private dining rooms. If you're tired of being told there's no money for schools or hospitals while billions are handed to corporations, type "enough" in the comments. Now here's where things get truly dangerous for Albanese. Behind the scenes, MPs are whispering about a parliamentary revolt. Some are terrified this scandal will destroy what little trust the public still has in politics. Transparency campaigners are already calling for a full federal investigation. Talk of an independent commission to regulate lobbying is growing louder, and if enough pressure builds, Albanese could be forced into reforms he's spent years dodging, or worse, face calls to step aside for letting the scandal fester. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about lobbyists. It's about whether the government itself has lost the moral right to lead. Here's a thought experiment for you. What if Pocock's register takes off? What if independents, Greens, and even a few backbenchers start publishing their diaries, and Australians finally see the contrast? On one side, independents meeting with community groups, climate scientists, charities. On the other side, major parties meeting with gambling giants, oil billionaires, and property moguls. That comparison could be devastating, and it could prove beyond doubt that Parliament isn't working for you. It's working for the highest bidder. Question for you. If such a comparison came out tomorrow, would it shock you, or would it simply confirm what you've always suspected? Let me know in the comments. So, let's put it all together. David Pocock didn't just drop a minor detail. He tore open the lid of a system designed to stay hidden. A system where lobbyists walk through Parliament's side doors while ordinary Australians wait outside. A system where laws are written not for the people but for the connected few. And Anthony Albanese, he's now facing the one thing politicians fear most: exposure. The question is simple. Do Australians accept this, shrug it off, and let the system roll on? Or do they demand the kind of transparency that could end business-as-usual politics for good? Because what Pocock showed us isn't just a scandal, it's a mirror that forces us to ask, who really owns Australian democracy? If you want more Australians to see this, hit the like button. It helps spread this story further. Subscribe if you're tired of mainstream media covering for politicians. And drop a comment telling me what you think should happen next, because if change is going to happen, it starts with people like you refusing to stay silent.